Thanks so much for joining us. We've got your top weather headlines. I'm meteorologist Karissa Klos.
I'm meteorologist Joe Astolfi, and boy, we have some active weather, especially in the eastern U.S. Not a whole lot of wet weather out west, but they need some due to all the wildfires in California.
Yeah, we've got some updates on the three major ones, the Camp Fire, the Hill Fire, and the Woolsey Fire coming up, but we want to give you an outlook at what you can expect across the country over the next few days.
Yeah, let's head to the national maps here and take a peek at what's going on. You'll notice that big cold front working its way to the east. That'll usher in some chilly temperatures, but with the cold front coming through, places like the Great Lakes, the Northeast, the interior Northeast anyway, we'll see some snow through the rest of today. We'll see some heavier rain for the Mid-Atlantic on down towards the Gulf Coast. A little bit of wet weather and snowy weather for the Northwest, and again, California in need of moisture due to all the wildfire activity we've been seeing. It's just been heartbreaking to watch. Elsewhere across the country, though, we've got the thunderstorm chance below severe limits, thankfully. And again, this system will move out for Saturday. Could see some morning lake effect snow showers downwind of Lakes Erie and Ontario and then throughout that entire region. And of course, up towards the northern plains, North Dakota, parts of Montana, seeing some snow showers moving on in with our next system, and maybe a few showers lingering down into portions of South Florida. No thunderstorm chances, I'm happy to report, for us here on Saturday. Sunday, we'll keep an eye on this big cold front. Another wave of chilly temperatures expected to impact the U.S. That could bring some snow to places like Denver, over towards Dodge City, Kansas, back towards Billings, and we'll likely see an interesting storm with this as we go into Monday and Tuesday. Look at that Gulf moisture being funneled on into the south and east, and that'll continue its journey to the north heading into Tuesday. So the eastern U.S. staying active, the western staying relatively dry. Here's a look at rain and snow forecast over the next several days through about Tuesday morning, and we're likely to see some heavier rain down towards the Gulf Coast, perhaps in excess of 2 or 3 inches. Some significant snow possible in some of those lake effect snowbelt areas, and look at that, some southern plain snow, Texas and Oklahoma, as we get into Monday. Notice temperatures for the overnight lows. Bone chilling up into North Dakota, 8 in Bismarck, 10 for Omaha, Nebraska, 20 for the low in Chicago. Look at Atlanta, Georgia, 36 degrees down there. Little Rock, you're going to be getting into the upper 20s. So some frost and freeze as far south as Dallas, perhaps, overnight tonight. And for Saturday, we are likely to see those temperatures stay chilly, well below average into the northern plains, the Midwest, and into portions of the Northeast, while the southern states are below average as well, aside from the usual hot spots, Florida, over towards Phoenix and into Los Angeles. Speaking of Los Angeles, wildfire concerns in and around the Ventura County area. This was earlier today. Karissa, just heartbreaking scenes all across portions of Southern California.
Absolutely. The Woolsey Fire, one that has grown very quickly out of control. It went from about 0 to 8,000 acres in less than 2 hours yesterday. But we also have growth on the Camp Fire. That's up into northern parts of California. This is the biggest deal. Yesterday evening, it was at 20,000 acres. Now that has grown to 70,000 acres at just 5% containment, with multiple evacuations in the Chico area right around Paradise. And we're going to continue to see the Camp Fire, which is just north of Sacramento, burning very quickly and very out of control today. Good news is the fire danger in Northern California taking a step back. Bad news is for the Woolsey and Hill fires in Ventura County, just west of Los Angeles. That is where we continue with Santa Ana winds and a very high fire danger through the rest of the day today. The Woolsey Fire at 4,000 acres, actually up to 8,000 now. The 75,000 homes that have been evacuated with that, still a very dangerous and dynamic situation. So anybody out there in that area should stay on high alert. Because of the Woolsey Fire, we're now starting to see evacuations around the 101 because that has now jumped the highway, and the Malibu area is also affected. Hill Fire up to 10,000 acres, a very scary situation, like we said, just west of Los Angeles, where we maintain those red flag warnings. The fire weather watches to the north, those we're likely to see that fire threat die down today, but that watch means that conditions will be ripe again as we head towards Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So this for the Chico area and right around where we have the Camp Fire, we're talking about increased fire danger into the next few days. But today, it's all about the red flag warnings and the high wind warnings with those Santa Ana winds in play, and wind advisories even stretching up between Las Vegas and Lake Havasu. But we want to switch gears from the hot and dry to the very cold and very wet pattern. That's where working its way from the Great Lakes to the northeast. Let's take you out to where this system was yesterday in Kansas. Look at the size of those snowflakes.
Those are huge, Karissa. Kind of like a snow globe, seeing it fall gently, but some parts of the plains, parts of Kansas and Nebraska, picked up between 5 and 6 inches of snow, even higher in other areas. And we are expecting some of that lake effect to take hold. Notice the upper peninsula area of Michigan and north central Wisconsin in line with those winter storm warnings, likely to see 6 to 12 inches of snow there. Could see ½ a foot in some pockets of northern Maine, and the lake effect will take hold in western Michigan and western and upstate New York. As the system, again, passes on by, we'll be talking about a lot of rainy weather into New York City and Boston. Flooding will be a concern for those communities as we move through the rest of today into early tomorrow. This is around midnight or so, and again, that lake effect snow continues. That northeast rain and Maine snow will continue as well. By Saturday, though, some scattered pockets of snow and rain will linger. This system will quickly move on up into Canada, and we can say goodbye, but we're not going to say goodbye to the cold air, and that will set the stage for perhaps some more wintry weather into next week. Here's rain and snow through about Saturday night, and you'll notice where some of the high totals are downwind of the Great Lakes and into parts of Maine. And some of the heavier rain, that yellow on the map near Boston, that could be upwards of 3 inches worth of rainfall. And again, certainly 1 to 3 inches worth of snow into parts of Wisconsin and Michigan, but up towards the upper peninsula of Michigan, that's where we'll find the 6 to 12 inches possible there. And again, Houghton, Michigan, Ironwood, we've got some winter storm warnings for you. There are a lot of things happening from coast to coast. Be sure to join us at WeatherNationTV.com, where you can find your local forecast and read about all of those top weather headlines 24 hours a day.